I'm Linda Page, and we're here at the Sweetgrass Mercantile.
My name is John Royal, and I run Royal Hardware down on Coleman Boulevard and Sweetgrass Hardware, Highway 17 up in New Mount Pleasant.
We are a very unique place here in New Mount Pleasant. We have a post office, we have 80 plus vendors, most of it handmade, locally made. We have a cafe here. Of course, we're inside the hardware store, garden center, paint, full service hardware store. And I mentioned post office. So we have a very unique niche for people here to shop for just about anything.
I've known the Pages probably for 50 years. I knew her dad, knew her mother. Pages Thieves Market was it was a Mount Pleasant icon. And with the old clock and all on the way to the beach, everybody knew Pages Thieves Market, and everybody knew Linda. We have run this store up here, the Ace Hardware up here, for a good many years. And we had some space in this store. This is a nice facility. We had some space in here, and we were looking for an opportunity to do something different with that space, make that space profitable. And Linda and I had kind of thrown this idea around a couple of times, and after, really a very little bit of discussion, we decided to do it. And made what you see here today. So it's I can't take an awful lot of credit for what happened. Linda had provided the impetus, and it's been a wonderful thing.
Well, you talk a little bit about why you do something in business often, I think, and there's a lot of hindsight that's often 20/20. So I have been in business my whole life. My dad leased a store when I was 5 years old, and I closed the store when I was 60. So when I was asked to open another venture, I was a little hesitant to jump right into that. But when I decided that we would be able to really help, and this was the key, and I think this is what drove John and I. This is really a little small business that helps a lot of small business. So I'm part-time, I come and go, I still do auctions. I have the opportunity to work with the 80 people who are up here, encouraging them, they encourage me. We just had a vendor meet and greet so they can get together. We do that often. We have one vendor who has 50,000 Instagram followers, so we always want to encourage her to teach us how to do things better. So we all collaborate and work together. I have some that have been here from the very beginning. We've been here about 2.5 years now, and they have grown their businesses. I have people who often start in a little tiny space and grow. Sometimes they outgrow us. We have people who've looked at leasing other properties. We are here to help them, they help us. And these businesses are so unique. I mean, we have everything from locally made candles to handcrafted pottery and art and tea towels and t-shirts. So we really have the whole spectrum. I'd say we're a gift shop, but we're so much more, because these women and men who have these spaces, this is their business, and they put their heart in it. So we're pretty happy to be here with them. When you have an idea about a business, do your homework, figure out what your time commitment is, how passionate you're going to be about it. As an auctioneer, I'm in people's homes, I'm handling people's most cherished possessions, but I'm passionate about it. I want those families to really appreciate my services, and I think if you have a business idea and you're in the town of Mount Pleasant, you're facing a lot of hurdles. I mean, rents are expensive here, but we have a lot of great people here. So, perhaps find some place like the Sweetgrass Mercantile. I mean, this is a great example of how you can take a little idea, maybe making a candle and growing it into something huge. So, my experience is being in business in the town of Mount Pleasant is fantastic, and Mount Pleasant has provided me a lot of opportunities. So glad we landed here.
Starting a business today is much harder than when I started 45 years ago. Your regulations, your costs involved, everything is probably tenfold from when I started. I was very fortunate when I started. My fourth grade teacher sold me, Ms. Willard, sold me her family's business at a very reasonable price, and sold me the property too, and financed it. So that kind of thing doesn't happen today. So I was very blessed in that, and put me right in the middle of Mount Pleasant, in an unbelievably good spot right in the middle of Mount Pleasant. Today, what I would say for somebody wanting to start a business is, a lot of times people are craft people. They're product oriented, they're design oriented, they're doers. A lot of times they're not so good at the business side of things. And if they think they're going to go out and rent a facility for themselves, pay the insurance, pay all the things involved in starting a business, the chances of success are pretty limited, really. Probably only 30% of them go past 5 years. Sweetgrass Mercantile provides an opportunity where they don't really have to invest a lot of money, just have product, set up their displays, come in, we sell the product, we've got the insurance, we do the bookkeeping, actually. We pretty well, Linda has these programs on the computer that they can dial in and see what they sold yesterday. So it makes a great opportunity for somebody to start a business. And Linda and these folks up here have, I think it's a miracle how all this works. And for people, it's such an inexpensive way to get started.
John and I have a little different experience because, we did have an iconic business in the town of Mount Pleasant. So not only were we on the way to the beach, so there's so many people who recall Page's Thieves Market because they stopped on the way to the beach. And it's that memory, and then the hot summer day and the suntan oil and the sand in their britches and how they felt that day. So this store, we do have a little bit of that feeling, it's friendly here. It's people come in and they chat and they stop and they have conversation and they keep up with their neighbors. So part of the vision for me to be here when John gave me the opportunity was really to create a gathering place, and that's your memories. You recall the gathering place. So your mom dragged you here when you were little, but you might have got a soft serve ice cream cone at the end of it. And your dog is going to come in. We're gonna know your dog's name. We're gonna give your dogs treats. Some of the dogs are gonna go get mail, and that's a real thing. So those are memories, and the people who are in here who experience that are going to go, oh my God, I went to this hardware store and it had all this great stuff in it, and it had a post office, and there were dogs in there getting dog biscuits. I mean, it was great. So I think we've created something that will be a legacy.
I would echo every bit of what Linda has said. We throughout my business career, I guess I never really had any great goal down, looking ahead to try to make a bunch of money. My thought was to do something that would be, good for the community, good for people, bring people together, in the community and provide a gathering space, as Linda has said. Friendly people doing business with friends is a good thing.
I like that.
So and the vast majority of these folks are our friends and their dogs. Like I said,
there's a puppy dog now.
There's a little pup right there.
Yeah, one of our older fellas.
Yep. And that we're trying to hang on to the good old time country store kind of a thing where people gathered, and that's where people met. We're striving to hang on to that concept.